Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Bird the Nerd with another comic book market report for January 14th, 2024. Some pretty fun books to look at. A few that dipped back to their pre-announcement trailer levels, if you want to say, and a couple that have dropped entirely off the face of the earth from their highs once the character was announced. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I want to thank everyone for subbing to the channel. We have 845 subscribers. I promise we may go live again with something a little different one of these days. But if you could all do me a quick favor, hit that like button, subscribe, join the Discord. We just hit 120 members on the Discord, and I gave away some pretty cool comic books, and I think over at least $50 worth of comic books, some cool virgins and some spec in there as well. So yeah, join us. It's free. There's no charge. We do flips. We do investment ideas of everything, and it's a pretty fun and positive community as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. I have about 9 books today. I kind of went over some books from previous top 10 lists this past week. I wanted to see the sales that went through over the weekend, and some pretty good data out there. A lot of this makes sense here. I think a lot of people are just they're trying to, limit their prices and their purchases, I would say, and maybe offloading a bunch of stuff. I know a lot of collectors are just kind of want to get rid of stuff that they just isn't going to move anymore. The market's changed, but I would say based on this report, there are some pretty good deals out there, and there's some books that are holding up to where I think they should be. So let's get into it. First and foremost, Mark Spears, the 1 in 25 of the number one. This is like the, I think, 72nd printing of this first issue. I think a couple things with this book, and I would say that the story doesn't get enough love, as much love as the art does. And I think the story should also get some love as well, which I hopefully is the reason why this book is still going up. With that said, this is like the perfect homage I've seen of Freddy Krueger in, I think of all time. It's perfect. I mean, it's creepy as hell. The hair is weird. The features of the female who's in this cover are awesome. I don't know what monster that is. I don't know if that's Dracula or whatever, but like it's super creepy. It's done really well. And kudos to Mark Spears, man. You're on fire. And the thing about artist FOMO is that the more stuff they put out, the less people are likely to buy it, right? Because supply and demand. He keeps putting stuff out and it's still selling for really well. And I'm not mad at $75 for the last sale, because I don't think that's I don't think that price is like, I'm going to buy this for 75 and sell for 400. It might be, but I think people are cool with paying 75, getting it graded, keeping it for whatever reason, just because they like it. It's a good homage. It's smart. And I just love it. I think it's a great cover. Next up, Hercules, The Haunting Ground #2. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but a while back, there was rumors that a female Hercules was going to come to the MCU, and the Twitter sphere went crazy saying that, the Marvel is woke and all this stuff, when in actuality, there is actually a female Silver Surfer. This went to like $50, I think, last time, or not last time. When the news came out, it has since dropped to $15, which I think is $10 too high. This is a dollar bin book all day. It's a cool cover. It's got a cool story, I guess, behind it. But the fact that Marvel's kind of been on a hiatus lately, and there's not a lot of rumors or like news, I think they shelved this character. In fact, there's really no reason for this book to be $15. Unless you're a Hercules completist or you're Silver Surfer completist, I don't know. But I just don't see anything in relation to like spec pushing this past $5. So with that said, if you have it, congratulations. I would probably burn this book. Kind of going back to what is an interesting kind of phenomenon, if you will, in the comic book realm right now. It looks like video game collectors are kind of spilling over to comic books, obviously. This is based off the Venom Rivals fandom. If you don't know, Venom Rivals is a brand new video game online. It's free, and the community is really growing. I think it's kind of based on Overwatch or some type of shooting game. I've never played it before, but Jeff Landshark obviously is still holding up pretty well. And I'm not mad at this $25 FLC cover buy. $100 for 9.8. I mean, it's a really cool cover. It's got, to me, it kind of looks like a little anime-ish and a different take on Venom, but it's cool. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I'm not personally investing in this or buying any books like this at all. I'm kind of being a little more picky on the books that I buy as far as condition and like version, but I'm not mad at this. Venom #2 Rivals. It just came out. Another book I'm not mad at, Grunge Comics #1, or Grunge Comics Presents #1. First half of the greatest grunge era artist ever, Kurt Cobain, rest in peace. This book shot up last year on I think it was like the 25th anniversary or 30th anniversary of Kurt Cobain's, I think, death, or I can't remember exactly, but this is a great cover. This is actual art. This isn't a photo, so it's pretty cool. I sold mine last year for $242 in a 9.4. It's since come down 114, which makes sense. Super tough and high grade. I was surprised I got 9.4, in fact. But if you're a metalhead, if you're into comic books, this is a great piece to get. I see this raw all the time for like $40 to $50 because there's just not that many copies of it out there. And I think 9.4 for $114, that's pretty good, in regards to supply and demand of this book. So happy hunting and good luck. Kind of going back to stuff that I think will stand the test of time. Simpsons' first appearance. I think this is like the Canadian version. I'm not sure. It's obviously in a different language. But $20 for a newsie, which is something I was always opposed to, but I kind of like the collectability of newsies now, especially those later 2010s newsies and all that, especially in high and near mint. $241 for a 9.8 though of a direct edition. I thought it was pretty strong. Simpsons it doesn't look like it's going to die anytime soon. Matt Groening's still alive. I mean, who knows? And I mean, it's one of those brands that has stayed the test of time. And I think just, there's generations that just really like it. So with that said, $241 for a 9.8, I think that's really strong again. And I'm not mad at that either. I have like 3 copies of this book and I'm hoping they grade at a high grade, but we'll see. My favorite Amazing Spider-Man book, ASM second print, number 654. This is, kind of the premonition of Anti-Venom. I think it's the best cover. 126 for an 8.0. I thought that was really strong, especially for a modern book. This, definitely, like, this is a harder book to get in high grade. It's harder to get regardless. It's very well known amongst comic collectors. And I mean, I'm going to go on a limb here, and this isn't really a limb, but this isn't, or a hot take, but Amazing Spider-Man has the best B, C, D, E level characters as far as like relatability, and they're interesting enough that they don't take away from the main character. And there's enough fandom to where they're highly collectible. Obviously, Spider-Man's the flagship title of Marvel, but I think it's important to know that if you are thinking like, man, I need to get like, I think that character's going to take off, or I want to buy multiple copies of this set character, you probably want to go Amazing Spider-Man to be on the safe side, because other stories or other characters, other comic series, they don't have the kind of like spin-off strength that I guess to say X-Men is the other one, but there's so many more valuable like B level characters in Spider-Man that it makes it a very fun collectible to go into. So I'm about to go into the next book here, but I just want to say, do me a favor, guys, hit that like button, subscribe to all your friends, trying to get to 850. So 5 more subscribers after this video. We'll see if we get there. It's just something that makes me want to do these videos more if we get more people to view it and to subscribe, and hit that like button. It helps with the algo rhythm. And I'll keep doing these reports, and we'll see what happens with the live shows. 8 Billion Genies #1. Now, I was shocked when I was looking at this. Key Collector came out and said there was a pretty significant increase in 8 Billion Genies #1s last week. And so I was like, what is my favorite cover other than Bird City's, Super Mario 3 homage? And this is my favorite one. It looks a lot like my cat Zorro. And it's just so random that I love it. This is there's sparkles on this book as well. I don't know what the exact reasoning being of these cats being on the cat being on 8 billion G's #1, but I just thought it was hilarious. And oddly enough, this is selling for pretty high. I don't think people that got this book are necessarily might not just be 8 billion Genies fans, but they might be cat fans as well. So you're hitting different genres there. Um, this was crazy when it came out. It was like I think 2022, 2023. I can't remember. It's so long ago, or it seems like it. But this book came out. Option News came out a week ago, and every single book went crazy. There's about 17 million different printings of this. It's a really cool story. It's short and sweet, which I appreciate. Charles Soule does really great, and as far as Option goes, he's one of those writers that you want to follow because it's more than likely, or there's a pretty good chance that his books may get options. So $72 for this book for a best offer, which I think is wild. 9.8s are asking for like 250 to 300. And I think it's just basically, it's solely based on the fact there's a cat on a comic book and it's hilarious. So anyway, talking about last issues, like I was alluding to earlier, this is Sonic the Hedgehog last issue. I can't remember that off the top of my head, but I think it's a pretty cool cover. There's a different variant of it. The Riverdale, kind of like the strip above the CW stuff, it kind of throws off the grade on these, I feel, because it's black and if you get one little crease, it's over, right? But I think for me as a collector, if you're not into really directs, I think it's okay to go with a last issue direct. You always want to go with the newsstand in these guys or a Canadian newsstand, which I'm kind of hunting for. But a 98 sold recently for $166. I know because I was the one bidding on this book yesterday and it ended, which I thought was really low for a last issue, and especially for a Sonic book in high grade. It's a great cover too. And I think this is like one that it's going to hold its value. And so if you can get it like on a Monday ending auction, it's a great deal. Under $200. I've seen this book sell for $200 raw. So to get it 9.8, 166, the wait times at CGC, the uncertainty, the anxiety of getting a grade that you may or may not want or expect. That's a great value to me. You're essentially paying $125 raw for this book. That's what kind of values it at, in my opinion. So super cheap. Great buy. And last but not least, I wanted to highlight just the whole when a book, or when a character has a trailer, that's a time to sell it if you're trying to make your highest marks on there. But prices have dipped on this Venom 3 third print. I know when the trailer came out, this book skyrocketed to almost like $500. I sold my double signed copy for like $750, which was one of the highest sales at the time. But I don't know if it's because it's Christmas season or what, people are trying to sell this, but it's dipped back down to $250 to $300. And that's fair. It sucks if you didn't sell, but it is what it is. I still think Null, as far as the character is concerned, I'm not banking on the fact that Null is going to make it in the MCU. It's really tough. He's a, otherworld character. But I think if you got someone like, like a Hickman or perhaps Jeff Lemire, I think Jeff Lemire would be actually the perfect person to write Venom Null, to come back and rewrite Null's like kind of comeback. I think that would be something that would push this book into not the stratosphere, but it would be a better spec for the character of Null to go up in price versus the actual cinema version. We don't know when Null's going to be in the MCU. There's so much stuff going on right now. I don't know if I'd say go pick this up for $250. I wouldn't be mad at like $175 or $200, but I'm super cheap and I'm being a little conservative on that. I don't think you could get that much. I think $250 is kind of the sweet spot for people that, I don't want to sell this for under $250. I'm just going to keep it because they probably put a lot of money into this book and they're just going to be like, I like the character enough. I'm just going to keep it at this price. But that is your show for the day. I want to thank all of my followers, all the people that don't follow me, and the people that stop by the show and checked it out for a little bit. I'll do these quick 15-minute videos every week. I'll do a video game market report tomorrow or Thursday. We'll see with the algo. And again, if you guys could hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me how dumb or how amazing I'm doing. Probably more dumb than amazing. Or if you have questions in regards to like how to collect, join the Discord. and ask away. I'm never a person to shy away from responding to any of the comments. And we'll see you next time. Happy hunting and take care.